I'm here with my team. We have Waterfall Electric, our creation for Startup Weekend. And we're showing you the business as it will be, created by our team. 4 core members, Randy Pringle, Keisha Nelson, Donald Halbert, and me, Matthew Lindbergh. And our goal is to end up reselling hydropower systems at a 40% profit. So, for those of you who love solar energy, this may come as a surprise, or you may have already have an educated answer for it, but at the moment there's a high capital cost for solar, and there's various ways around that. Now, another way is to just use a different system, hydropower. Hydropower is just almost as convenient as nuclear power in a lot of ways. Now, it's also flexible, except for the fact that it's not as flexible as solar power, so there's an advantage there. Okay. And hydropower on a utility scale is widespread. As this chart shows, China and Europe, mainly Norway, are the largest users of hydropower, with the US as the third. Now, what are the average costs? This data might be out of date, but solar power is slightly above the cost of residential power here in the United States. Now, the effective cost is lower, however, it's much lower for hydropower. Here's an example of a municipal scale hydropower setup. All right, us. Hydropower is sexy, as is making money while taking a bath. There's a lot more we can tell you about that. So untapped sources of local hydropower. There's companies that are actively seeking, and you'll see some of them on the next slide, to make use of the excess pressure in municipal water systems, for instance. And these are 3 of the companies that have the full range of solutions, from ones that retrofit municipal water solutions to just general turbines that someone can install in their own house. So, who are we? Waterfall Electric. We are people who affiliate with the manufacturers. We present, just like we're doing today, but in a much more professional way, with real money on the line, although actually Jeffrey's offering is pretty damn convincing. And based on our presentations, we know that the customers are out there. So the cost savings are real. There's some markets we'd like to explore. Going into emergency settings is one of them, but for the bread and butter is to just make presentations to residential customers and municipalities. So just man on the street interviews. Most people say yes, who are decision makers. If they say no, it's usually because they're not decision makers. This is to at least let us pitch to them. So, if our company goes ahead, which chances are it might, we have our 30-day, 60-day, 90-day, half-year, and 1-year targets. And then what do we need? We need money for different things. And then, go ahead. This sector as a whole is growing around 17% a year. Mostly industrial scale. The missing link is the municipal and residential scale. So today we're looking for $4,000, and that way we can go ahead, see if we can meet our 40% profit goal, and start setting up a business and get all these things. And we know that the market will grow from less than a terawatt globally right now to more than almost a terawatt and a half in 7 years. All right, thank you very much. So if Randy, Keisha, and Donald could join me. Oh yes, Randy will be handing out things for the judges, some examples. All right. Can I hear a question?
Okay, so you're saying that the main bread and butter of the industry will be going after residential services. So the idea would be if you have municipal water, which we all do at this point, you're going to go in and summon the turbine that will essentially save them X amount on their water bill or their general electric bill. How does that work?
It works by reducing the water pressure to a house. So we might be shooting ourselves in the foot. That's in a very special case situation. Now, just as a thought experiment, imagine that your power goes out. However, you have a turbine connected to the water system. As long as the water system still functions, every time you fill the bathtub, take a shower, get drinking water, that's running water through a turbine, generating just enough electricity to charge your cell phone or whatever. So it's a very special case emergency power setup. However, for residential customers who have a creek in their backyard or a swimming pool that gets filled up or whatever, that's a huge opportunity to just put a turbine in the system.
Did you mention what the cost would be, the retail price to the consumer for the turbine?
I know that the net cost would be around half of what traditional electric service would be in a situation where they have abundant free-flowing water, like a small stream next door. So how that amortizes just depends on what the size of the house is, etc. But an example, off-the-shelf turbine you could probably get in the $5,000 range. Or if you make it yourself, in the $2,000 range, probably a couple thousand people in the United States have already made them themselves using the wheel kits.
Just wondering, can any, I guess, plumber install one of these turbines?
Yes. For residential scale, if it's municipal scale, like on a water tower, then it would be a crew from municipal water department.
So in a water tower, you're paying for electricity to pump the water up.
Yes.
Right, and then you gravity pulling it down. You're saying you get more energy from it coming down than you pay for it to go up?
It'd be mainly in the case if the water tower was arbitrarily too high, and so the pressure for the population was greater than the pipes needed. Now, in some cases, the water tower is located in a central place in the city, and then there's districts or neighborhoods or wards of the city that are lower, and those neighborhoods will have higher pressure. And so rather than put a system on the water tower at the center of the city, you put it on the feeder to that lower elevation city. And one of our proposed affiliate manufacturers has done probably hundreds of installations exactly like